What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Talks with Kat, featuring today business owner, designer, fashion mogul, and most likely to be on your Pinterest board, Styleby.ms. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited to have you on, only because I feel like they don't really know you.
No, they don't.
They don't know you. You're so low key. Like, they don't know you, so I'm feeling so honored.
I'm honored to even get the invitation. My first podcast ever to really be speaking on anything fashion related or just me, period. So.
Yes, and there's so much to you. First, I want to start with your style. I love the way you dress, the ensembles, the layering. Like, it's even today, like, it's just all so perfect. So I have to just start with asking, like, where did you get your style from? Where did you get your inspo? What inspired it?
That is like my biggest question, but it really I don't have like a set answer for it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of pick up little things. I think like having the perfect balance of being raised in Jersey and like commuting to the city as I was growing up, like it was always just such an eye opener because I could really just see the balance. New York has this eccentric, just super I don't give a fuck attitude, but Jersey was so like calm and mellow, and like my mom too like has like this own very like simple, unique style. So I kind of picked up from that and kind of twisted it and made my own.
Okay.
As your biggest inspos like Rihanna, Tiana Taylor, like anyone that really caught my eye, just I would kind of take inspo from that and mix it into who I am as a person.
I love that. I used to do that a lot too. Like when I was trying to figure out like my style, like I would go on Pinterest, make like this really large board, and like a lot of the women that I featured were Rihanna and Tiana Taylor, especially like when they started even in their career, like their fashion was like so ahead of their time. That's kind of how I view your fashion too, like very ahead of our time right now. Like it's just
thanks.
yeah. It's so
I don't
unique.
see it that way. I feel like I'd be struggling.
No, what?
And I'm like, I always need more clothes. But I'm like, do I even know how to dress? Because I'm like, I never know what to really wear.
That's insane.
On a day-to-day, I know.
So walk me through, like, let's say for a date night.
A date night look?
What's like a look that you're like, I would wear this on a date night?
What's funny, because I went on a date recently, and he told me I look like a boy. Because I wear like really, really baggy clothes.
Don't we all though?
I know, but I'm just like, that's so funny. But I don't know. I think I dress based off my mood.
Okay.
So like if I'm feeling sexy today or if I'm feeling comfortable the next, like I don't really like have like a date night look. It kind of just is what Maryann is feeling.
Yes.
That day. But what I wear on our date, I was wearing this baggy, like Alexander Wang printed denim pants with the matching jacket,
but that's tea.
And my tank top, and what shoes was I wearing? My Travis Scott all black Dunks.
Okay, but that's tea. That's calm. I still like it.
But it's funny because even in high school or like growing up, I would wear sweatpants and I would just wear like the typical hoodie sweats or just like a tee. And people are like, why do you always look so fancy? And I'm like, but I'm wearing sweats. Like you're wearing sweats too. Like what makes my sweats different from your sweats? But it really is like accessorizing.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Thinking what goes or how to elevate that simple look.
That's what I mentioned earlier was like the ensemble. Like you're really good at like putting a whole bunch of things together and like making it a look. I definitely feel so confident like giving you like a sweatsuit, like gray plain, and like you're making it like
my own,
your own, with like accessories, like shoes, even bags. I think that's what makes like your style so unique, and it just makes it even like, I think we all have like our own personal brands, and then we have like our projects and our passion projects, which our personal brands and how we dress bring in that audience that trusts people to be like, okay, you can trust my business. You can trust like what I put out there, because like obviously you know how to dress, you know how to put things together, which brings me to my next point, which is your brand. that I also love, and I love this new concept.
Thank you.
It's insane, but I don't want to put the name out there myself. I don't want to, give the bio to the brand. So introduce your brand. What is the brand?
What is my brand? Okay, so my brand is me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think overall the compliment that I always got was, I love your style.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to dress so well. And, I love that because I think that makes my confidence, just boost up so much more. But I was like, you know what? Let me start creating something that I would want to wear. Because since the girls like how I dress, typically you would want to like just wear what what I'm selling or whatever the case is. So it really just started that way. And then it grew into different drops. My first one was the out-of-pocket cargo dress.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, like, my brand is just like an extension of just me and what I like to wear and what I feel like is missing in the fashion industry for the right price bracket. Because I feel like girls want to dress a certain way, but they're not going to spend $1,200 on a jacket at Acne or go here and spend, $800 on a pair of jeans. Whatever the case is I'm selling, I don't want it to be like overly priced. Because I'm also like a very money conscious person.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you seem to be very conscious of like your customer and your target audience, which is good because I think I understand though too, like all business owners have to make money.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not just a passion project, it's also a job. So I do understand that, and then it also costs a lot to make things.
Yeah.
And to get samples and to produce things. So I do understand that, but props to you for being so like conscious about that part of the business.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of was just like, fuck it. Like, I can curse.
Yeah, you can curse.
I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna do this. And I was scared, not gonna lie, because I am a one-woman shop. Like, I do everything myself. I design it. I speak to the manufacturers. I'm the one putting money down for the samples. I'm, putting money down for the bulk, period. So it's like, plus whatever marketing or whatever I'm doing for the brand, it's all me. So that's why I feel like it takes me a minute to drop something. Because I'm just like really trying to curate the perfect thing, but I also need to get out of my head that not everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's small, but I feel like it's growing, and I'm finally trying to pick up this pace that I've been eager to just stay on because, we have our slow moments and we get in our heads a lot. But
when you're in those stages, because I know a lot of other business owners. I have a lot of friends who are also designers and also have brands. And sometimes we all take hiatus. Like there was a point, even in my podcast, I took like 5 months off due to so much personal stuff. And I just needed that time off. But I came back refreshed and like got myself together. In those moments where you're like stuck or having doubts or anything like that, what do you do to get yourself kind of like out of that era?
Well, if I'm not in it every like 3 months, I feel like I have so much pressure, and it might be just like myself. Like I don't think anyone is really putting pressure on me. Only Maryann does that. But first of all, I like to like just clear my mind and talk to God. Like I think that that's been my main priority in this new journey of just like finding Jesus and like, just that whole realm. But before, I kind of would just like either sulk in it as long as I could, and then I'm like mentally drained from being in that situation where it's like, okay, like now you need to get the fuck up. Like you need to start doing something. But now I think I'm taking just a different approach just because like time waits for nobody.
Yes.
And if I really want more for myself and more for my brand, then I have to kind of like, pick it up. And just giving it to God and see what he does. Like, and I think that he's been doing a great job and just letting me not focus so much on the little things.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm not trying to be like where I was 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, little things get in the way of, like, what your main goal is.
Yeah.
And, you know, you get minor detours. But I think what always, like, stuck me on the same path was, like, my biggest goal. And that's really, like, to be more. And to do more and to be a bigger influence.
Yeah.
For girls like me who are, you know, trying their best.
And that's all. You're just a girl.
Yeah, I really am just a girl.
Yeah.
Like, I was putting air in my tires, and I'm like, I'm just a girl.
You put air in your tires?
Yeah.
Oh. Men, you guys need to do better.
I know. I tell my mom that, and she's just like, I didn't raise you to be like that. And I'm like, but still, like, there's just things that girls shouldn't have to do.
What the hell is a tire?
But
no. Yeah, no. Hopefully that never has to happen again.
I know. Oh, my man. Into my life.
Yeah, you know, I don't think women should be doing anything. I think we should just exist, but that's just me.
Right.
You know? But I do like what you said. You are putting it all on God and putting your faith in that. I think for me, that's also something that I do. The other day, actually, Tiff told me something that, like, changed. It just hit so different because I was in, like, a space where, like, she knows what I'm working on, and I was just, like, not doubtful, but kind of in a stage where I didn't know really what to do or, like, how to execute my ideas, and she read me a verse. I don't know it off the top of my head. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's Habakkuk.
Oh, Habakkuk?
Habakkuk?
With the write the vision, make it plain?
Yes. Which is basically just, like, write your thought down, even if you have to, like, make a vision for it, make a board, make a deck, just write it down and, like, plan your way to execute it, and, like, God will do the rest. And once I heard that verse, I made this crazy deck for something I'm working on, and, like, it changed everything for me. Okay. So I think if you're ever in those moments of, like, doubt, or you need some motivation or some push, like, refer to the word, because it's really gonna help you get through it. And I think, like, even nowadays, there's so many businesses out there. There's so many, like, other brands that can also, like, affect us on, like, our journey and our growth.
Yeah, I think living on social media is not good for us.
Which is why you're so, like, so low key. So
I kind of, like, you know, pop in, post my pic, and I'm out. Like, I don't have time to linger. But I will catch myself, like, be on Instagram just scrolling, and I'm like, oh damn, like, she lit, or she really got motion, but you really don't know what people have. Yeah, you know, Instagram really is a lie.
It's a facade.
So I kind of, like, try not even to indulge in that, and just make sure that I'm doing what I can for myself. And my
You're doing your best. Yeah, that's another thing too. You do have a larger platform, and, like, how do you even, like, apart from you sound like you're building that discipline where you're like, okay, I'm not finna scroll for hours and I'm not finna compare, but, like, how do you manage, like, having a lot of people watching you? Because that's, I don't know.
I just take it day by day. I think when I had started, and, like, the way that my Instagram took off, it was kind of like, you know, back then, 2016, 2017, you're like, oh yeah, I want to be on Instagram, I want to be popping, I want to do all this. But when that really came, and I think that was around, like, 2019, like, I was just like, I was just posting on Instagram for fun. Like, I worked a 9 to 5, I went out on the weekends, and I was just posting my fits. And then, you know, certain exposure and shit starts to pick up, so I was like, oh, okay, boom, like, this is nice. And then from there, I kind of, like, got reserved, because it went from, you know, 500 people watching my stories to then 20,000 people watching my stories. And I was like, wait, I can't be outside like how I used to. Or even, like, I used to work at Zara, and people would be like, oh my God, you're a mess. And I used to be like, oh my God, like, what? That to me was, like, so uncomfortable. So I as much as I enjoyed it, yes, it was also like weird and something that I had to get adjusted to. But in a strangely manner of like just being consistent about it, it was like, cool, I'm picking it up and I'm gonna keep going, because I then realized that you can get paid off social media, right? So I was like, wait, because I was getting just free shit, and I was like, oh,
I can make money.
I love free shit. Like, who doesn't? And I was getting sneakers, clothes, and like all these brands were trusting me with their sweatsuits and their t-shirts and all this stuff, and I was like, okay, fine, like I like this. But then my friend was like, oh wait, you can get paid, and I was like, you can get what? Like, I didn't know that. I can get. Yeah. I didn't know that. So when I realized that, I was like trying to definitely be more consistent, but this is a full-time job. Like, this is not like, and especially if you want to be creative, you want to be the next step ahead, or you want to like just be better, quote unquote, like I had to really put in the work. And I think that's what was like, it was turning me off. Because before it was just fun, and it was just like something, an outlet where I could just express myself.
Because you were being more free. Now it's
where it's like now I have to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find like that middle where it's like I want to do it, but I'm also like, I don't give a fuck. Like I solely see like the purpose now, because it's not for me anymore, it's for my brand. So if I have to be more active and I have to be, more vocal, then I'm gonna do that for that.
That's good. You're finding your path, your purpose, which is more like now the focus, instead of it being just you're highlighting yourself to highlight the brand, which is smart. And I think like a lot of people do that, especially with a platform. It's beneficial to utilize those numbers and to utilize that support system that you have. Because like I said earlier, like if they trust you, they trust your style, they're most likely going to trust what you create and what you put out. And what you put out is great. I love it. Like, I love it. So even this new drop, the Got Style, is kind of in reference to like Got Milk, which I thought was clever.
Yeah,
I really like.
I feel like it tied into like my name though too, like Styleby.ms. Like it was sitting on my phone. I had did a photo shoot for it 4 years ago because the concept popped up in my head, and I'm like, I really like this 90s like Got Milk campaign. It's kind of cool, and I played with the style part. I wanted to either do something with just style, or like style in a different language, and like just do it some way, somehow, do a sweatsuit. But then I was like, no. And then the Got Style popped in, and I was like, oh wait, I have never really seen that. Like people use that. Like people use like other Got something else, but never Got Style. So I don't know, I just took it and I ran with it. But then I also stuck with it for 4 years, and I was like,
everything has its season too,
right?
Yeah,
it had its moment now versus if I did it back then I don't know. But I paying homage to Got Milk and trying to do the same reference as that, because I feel like people like a nostalgia,
like that feeling theme. I loved it. I thought it was really cool, like just the whole idea, but I haven't seen that before, so I was like, oh wait, I know where the, like, even if like you just know where it's from, like which is what I like I could tell a reference to. So I like that. I really did like that you did that. So I did have a question though. As a business owner, there are so many people watching you run your business, and I'm sure a lot of them want to start businesses in fashion or just business in general. What advice would you give to those others wanting to start a business or wanting to just have an idea but don't know how to execute it into a business? What would you say?
Don't rush. Take your time. Don't I don't think that I'm the greatest business owner in the world. I think I could definitely be more on top of it. I'm grateful enough to have the customers that I do have that are very patient with me and, trust me for giving them a service technically. But yeah, don't rush and make sure that you have everything in line. I think I kind of went off in the whim, just did it because at that time I felt like I needed to do something. Like I don't think I was working at the time, and I had created T-shirts back then, and I was just like, oh, like, I'm gonna start my brand, but it wasn't like executed properly. But you learn, right?
Yeah.
So don't think that if you don't have a plan, you just want to go with it. Like, it's okay. Like, I learned from my mistakes. I was able to pick up where I left off and kind of started up this whole new thing, and that's when I created the out-of-pocket dress.
Yeah.
But staying consistent, making sure that your customers do come first. Like, your customer service is so big, and because I worked it my whole entire life, like I started working retail when I was like 14. So I've always known how to, satisfy the customer as much as possible, even if it's a loss to you, because at the end of the day, you want people to return back and buy from your business. But I don't know. I feel like I don't have anything like crazy to say that people aren't hearing already.
People can take a lot from that too. I don't normally hear the customer service part. I always ask other business owners, I don't really hear about the customer service, like about the supporter, about the person buying. So it's good that you mentioned that, because I think customer service and just like attending like to those people who are supporting and spending their hard-earned money on stuff that you're putting out is important.
It's very important, because you think of yourself as a consumer, and you're like, you're so easily influenced to buy other people's stuff, and you people don't take the time, even like with just any type of service that you do, people lack customer service.
Yeah.
Because they just want that money grab.
Yeah.
And then, I do love the money. Who doesn't? But without the people who are buying my stuff consistently, and I have people who are returning to my website that are buying every time I drop something, I love you. Like, you're really showing support that even people around me don't do.
Yeah.
So why not give the flowers to the people who are buying my stuff?
Absolutely. I love that. And it's crazy you brought that up, because that was actually something I was going to bring up next about like support, because it's hard to get support. I think I'm Dominican, so my mom, like, she didn't really understand, like, when I told her, like, when I was going into this like fashion industry, like, she didn't understand what I was doing or what it is. She's kind of like, ¿qué tú estás hablando? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't really understand. So that was hard to get support. It kind of like I just had to do it and show her. So that is difficult. And then I think sometimes friends around us don't always have like best interest in mind, or really like want to see us win. There's just sort of envious. How do you deal with your support around you?
Well, my family is huge, right? And big shout outs to the ones who know me inside out. My mom, I'm happy that I didn't grow up in a traditional household.
Okay.
In the sense where, like, going to college and getting a job and, like, just being, an adult, cool. But, like, they always knew that I was, like Maddie knew who she was at a young age.
Yeah.
It was always that. So I never felt, like, estranged to, like, want to be in the fashion industry. I think that they always knew that, or, like, just being center stage, period.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that they gave me that outlet. Now, in the sense where, like, starting my own business, my grandma had her own business in a bakery, and then had a daycare. So, like, running a business was never, like, unfamiliar, but running a fashion business was, and I was doing that all by myself, because not really nobody understands the game like that. But my support is, like, it's immense. Like, I feel it with my family and my friends, even the friends that I've curated now. Like, I go back to my birthday because I just felt so loved and so, like, grateful to be around the people that were there and the people who poured into me before that and after. Like, so when it comes down to, like, secret animosity, the people who had secret animosity towards me or jealousy, whatever, they're not in my life anymore. Like, I feel like they were picked out by themselves. I didn't have to really do much, which I'm also seeing again happen. So I don't know. I'm just grateful of overall like the people around me. They keep me humble.
Yeah.
And then my mom is my biggest hater, but my biggest supporter.
Yeah.
She always knows like what to say to just be
Yeah.
like, all right, sit down.
Mhm.
Like, but you know, my sister, she is always like looking up to me. So I try to make sure that I'm
You're the
like,
older sister?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like always making sure that I'm like making the right decisions.
Being a role model.
Right.
Yeah.
And just making sure that she can really look up to me. Like she was asking like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm about to go on a podcast. And she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I
like
think
she doesn't
that's,
really like see that like, you know, people do want to hear from me in some way, some form. Like, you know, your sister is
we
cool.
want to hear. Yeah. She's gonna like, my sister, she's in her 30s now, and like when my she was like her Y2K era. Like my sister was like that girl back in the day, like low rise, like she was that girl, and I used to be like, yo, like you're that girl.
Right.
Like she has no idea. So I feel like when she looks back at all these photos, and she's gonna be like, yo, my sister is that girl.
And I try to put her on, but
is she into like fashion as well, or?
She is. I mean, she's 13, so well, turning 13, so she's like, you know, in her own phase in life. But I definitely try to like get her in line. A lot of the shit that I have, I give to her, so she's fly.
We love free stuff.
Right, she's fly, undeniable, like just getting what I have. But her, my cousin, like my cousin's like my sister. She is 2 years younger than me, so we grew up together. She gets it. And my aunt too, like she's ride or die, like just best friend vibes too. So I don't know, my support is just
I
what
love
it needs
that a lot
to
of
be
your
right
support
now.
is also family.
Yeah.
A lot of people is like opposite. A lot of their friends sometimes are more of a support. So I love to hear that you have like that strong foundation like at home, like with family to support you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And you know, shout out to my friends too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Especially Tiff, because Tiff definitely been pulling through and just giving the best advice and knowing that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Because I think that I'm in my head 24/7. I need to like, I live rent free in my head. So just knowing that people are really not struggling, but like really be in their own head too. Like
we all go through it. We just might not be so vocal about it.
Right.
But I feel like we're all like, especially like us in this creative field, like all going through the same things.
Yep.
But it's like, who is really gonna talk about it?
Right.
We're gonna talk about it on Talks with Kat though.
No,
but
facts.
like, you know, who is really gonna talk about it? It's also really difficult to trust people and like know that everyone has their best interest in mind. So that's why it's so important to have that support system that you can go to and confide in to talk about difficult conversations about business, revenue, like all these things. Like we should be able to talk about it because you're gonna learn something and not even know that your closest best friend is going through the same thing as you, but you wouldn't even know because you're not opening up that conversation.
Right, or just being vulnerable because you just feel like people don't need to know that much detail about you. But it's like, what better to collaborate with other fashion brands to show that this isn't a competition. We're really trying to make it. We're all trying to be on top in a sense, or just really just, I don't know. A lot of people don't think that way because they want to be like the number one it girl. I don't really care to be the number one it girl, honestly. Like, I like my chill, mundane ass life. Like do I aspire to be more? Do I feel like I could be more? 100%. Who doesn't? But I'm also very content with.
I was just gonna say you seem very content.
How I am.
And that's the best part. As long as you're internally like good with yourself, you don't have to prove anything to anything else. And I think that nowadays with social media being so prominent in everything from business to relationships to everything, it's like something to prove online, that validation that people constantly need. Like I remove people from my social media that I feel like are doing too much, but there's certain people who like I used to follow and they was like posting themselves at the gym, posting themselves eating, then posting themselves going to work, and it's kind of like, why can't you also just like do what you gotta do and pop out? Like you gotta show every single thing for that like validation, like I am doing something. So I think that is like a big misconception, like people are not internally okay with themselves.
No, they hate themselves.
Yeah,
Low-key.
they do. They really do. So they gotta like get that validation online.
Yeah.
Which is it's actually really
It's
really
a disease too. Like I know a lot of people, I don't know them personally, but I be hearing stories and I'm like, but I've been around certain people who are just like, take my next pic or like record me walking into this or like, and I'm like, do y'all ever just live in the moment? Like you will rarely ever catch, like my photo album will be like not a lot. Cause I love to live in the moment. Like I feel like we're on this earth for a reason, not to be behind the screen and showing the world what we're doing. Like I like to take day by day and experience life.
Real life.
Real life instead of like
living it through a lens.
Yeah.
It is tricky too, because I know some people do get paid
100%
to do that all day, which is difficult. I can't see myself like doing that. Sometimes like I like to record like a day in my life, and like today I'm recording like, oh, spend a day with me like for my podcast and stuff. But then I always like contemplate, and I was like, damn, like what if people know this and that? So I try not to think of that too much, but I also really do enjoy living in the moment, being myself. Like I'm a whole goofball. Like I play all day, but like only like real people know that. Like Tiff and like, you know, my other friends, like they really know how I get down. But then like, you know, having to put that online is like, I don't know. I'd rather save that for myself, because I think once you put everything online, it kind of loses its value a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense.
No, it does. Listen, I am insane. Like I am a ball of energy to be around. I think I'm funny. A lot of people say I'm funny. People would disagree. I don't care. But once you get to know me, I am the coolest. You could be your most comfortable self around me. I don't judge. And I'm the type of friend that like will keep you in check. Like if you don't like accountability, then don't be my friend. Because I'm going to make sure that if it's not, listen, I have my own issues and I'm working on it, but I'm going to make sure that my friend is working on it too. Like,
of course.
What the fuck are we doing if we're not holding each other accountable? And I think people are so scared of that and run from it. But that's why, again, like God has been picking out certain friends out of my life because it's
not aligning.
It's not. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm so okay with that. But, yeah, like you see me like posting here and there on social media of like where I'm at and what I'm eating or who I'm having drinks with. But, there's like a whole other side to me that people don't really know. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I also do want people to see that because it's like, I'm a regular ass girl too. Like I don't be doing too much, but
we love that though. That's why I was like, I have to talk to her because I know I've been following you for a long time too. So I'm like, I know that there's more, but like, I also get it. Like keeping a lot of stuff private because not everything needs to be said. Not everybody needs to know everything.
Right.
And like I said, social media has become so prominent in business and personal relationships and friendships. Like it's not just a facade, but it also builds fake relationships. Like it builds like fake bonds and some
like who you know, so I can get close to that person.
Yeah,
like
transactional.
A lot of these friends are like what I can get off of you or who you know, and I get it. Like to each his own. Like you know, you do what you got to do, but I don't want that in my life.
Yeah,
like I want genuine people,
right? Because that's gonna last you longer. And that's going to fulfill you better.
Yeah.
Like having those genuine connections and those genuine people who care about you and like you for you, not just like socially. Because it could get so tricky. But wow, that was a deep ass. I hope they took something from that because that was wow. Okay, so we have your business which I love. What's next? Because I know that now your focus is like you want to do more for your business. You want to keep growing it. Like, what can we expect next? If you want to drop tea here.
Okay. So just really like broadening my whole brand, period. Like I love my clothes, but y'all know I love my accessories. So definitely tapping into like more accessories, even shoes in the future, because I love me a good shoe. More of that. I also really want to get into like more styling, more men's styling, if anything. People do email me and reach out to style them for events, so I do that. On the side, I do work a 9 to 5 that I'm trying to get out of, so that I could really just focus on myself and my brand and really putting in like the energy that it deserves. Because like even today, like before I came here, I was dropping off orders.
We love a business.
I was like, I need to do this before I leave to the city, because I'm probably not going to be, back in time. But just like really putting in every blood, sweat, and tear into my brand. Like I really want that to be like my next step.
I think it will happen. Absolutely. It's going to happen. It's already written. Right. And I think like hard work does pay off. That's so cliche to say, but hard work does pay off. So like putting in all those hours, that blood, sweat, and tears, and you being a one-woman show also is like, it's going to pay off for sure.
I definitely need like to do better and just asking for help. You know what I mean? Or it's just like, hey, like, it was a lot for me to hit up Tiff and be like, hey, can you take these pictures for me? Like, I need somebody else in these shirts. And yeah, my shirts are very plain and just basic and just straight to it. But that's what I wanted this drop to be, where it was like, I need a t-shirt. Let me pick this up real quick. Or I need a tank that just is more than a white tank. Let me just put this on real quick. And yeah, just asking more people for, just creating a community that we can all build from. And
collaborative work is real.
It is. And I be seeing it and I be like, oh, okay, period. Like, these people are working together. That's nice. Like,
as you can see.
Yeah.
That's my shorty back there. Literally, like, collaborative work is real, and sometimes it's just about asking. I personally hate asking as well, only because, like, I don't want anybody to ever think like, oh, she's trying to use me, she's trying to take advantage.
She don't got her shit together. I think that's like my biggest thing.
I actually never thought about that.
Like, oh, my gosh. I think for me, it's like people assume that I have like money, or I came from money, or I have a nigga who's paying for my shit, or like just little things like that, where it's like, no, I really do this shit by myself. I don't need a man. And yeah, grateful I've had a situation where I was able to live a certain lifestyle like that, but I'm not impressed. I think that wasn't fulfilling me, clearly.
Doesn't tickle you,
right? It was fun while it lasted, but people assume, and so you feel like, oh, if I ask Shorty for help, or if I ask this person for help, or it's like, or even like my setup where I had asked Tiff to take the pictures, I'm like, oh, well, like the photographer that I really wanted isn't here. I gotta take it. I didn't want her to think that like, oh, this girl really about to take the picture. Like I'd be so in my head, and it's like I'm judging myself, and they're probably not even judging me.
Not
like,
at all.
And so I was kind of just like, girl, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, if I have to ask Shorty to take the picture for me, cool, and I'm gonna take it, cool, because only I can execute what I really want to execute. So why not have myself do the pictures?
And business is also about pivoting.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like, the stuff that we go through as business owners, only we really understand. And we're going to have to figure out how to maneuver and how to do things next. So props to you for that.
Thank you.
But we do be in our heads. We are our biggest enemies and our biggest haters. Like, I be thinking stuff in my head. The next person is probably not even thinking.
Not even thinking it close.
Not even anything. Because me, like, there's a lot of stuff that happens in my podcast that is, like, so unconventional. People wouldn't believe. Actually, I'll drop the tea. I lost my hard drive for like all of my other episodes, like everything recently, and I was telling Tiff, like, I'm depressed. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but like also just my faith in God has put me like, okay, this is a lesson to me to like, one, be more responsible, like, two, always have a backup, like thinking about like other solutions, or like trying to be optimistic about it. So it's big pivoting. So I'm glad that you said that, because like you have to stop caring about like what the next person is gonna think. You just gotta ask for help when you need it. Literally.
It'd be times where I'd be asking my sister, take my picture of me, please. I haven't posted in weeks.
You have to.
I need to post. And she's
You have
just like,
to.
are you going to pay me? And I'm like, girl, I take you to Sephora. I take you to Ulta. I give you food. Like, what do you need?
Baby is crazy. Oh
But,
my gosh.
yeah, I've really just started to like open up and be more vocal. And who I ask to, because there be some people
You can't
who
ask
just,
everybody.
who just you could just tell.
But you build that trust with people. Like, you know who you can ask. And sometimes, like, you'll ask somebody and they'll do it and it doesn't feel right, you know not to ask again. Yeah. It's all about a learning experience as well. I think that's really, really, really important. So we kind of know what's going to happen next with your business. We're going to be on the lookout for the shoes, the accessories. We're going to see it go up. Yeah. Everybody turn on post notifications. Everybody tune in.
Tune in.
Please. What's next for you personally?
For me?
Because you are still like your own person, your own brand. Like what's next for you? Like what do you want to do? I know you said styling for men, but like what else?
My relationship with God to be stronger.
Okay, that's beautiful.
And this is really big for me because I just got on this journey, and I think just my testimony alone, just like me asking, and he really gave it to me. I was kind of just like, let me take my ass to church. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no way that this man gave me what I needed, and for so long he was telling me this, and I was just ignoring it because, you know, my time wasn't up yet. Like, I really needed to exhaust it for me to really see it. But when I asked and he delivered, it was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm all yours. You got me. And it's just like now navigating that relationship, right? Yeah. Because it is hard being a Christian. So, and just understanding and just day-to-day life where you might want to hear from him, and he, you know, it's just, you know, stuff like that. But definitely my relationship with God to be stronger. I don't think. Oh, no. Definitely dating.
Oh my gosh! Just no one's ever talked about dating on here. This is the first. We love it.
Dating and just experiencing life with someone else. My relationship with my friends to be stronger. I want this to be the most fun summer ever. Responsibly too.
Of course.
What else? What else does Maryann want?
This is like a journal. You're just like literally it down,
speaking my thoughts.
I think
I definitely.
Oh no, go ahead. No.
Continuing to get my bills paid, right? Mm-hmm. Like I feel like I work so much, and like making sure that everything is like paid off, or just being more financially free in that aspect. And getting my own place because it's about time. Mm-hmm. Like the girl's old already, but yeah.
These are real raw goals.
Literally.
Like these are actually real raw goals that I love, because I ask this question to a lot of people a lot of times, and everybody can be a big dreamer, but these are all attainable goals, and they're realistic, they're feasible, and they make sense. I love it.
It's like okay, really, like you want that, but it's like no, like it'd be a struggle every day. Like people don't understand that it's hard out here, and especially with certain people as president, like it's, you know, making it a lot difficult for us people
even as business owners with these tariffs. Like what's going on, bro?
Thank you. So yeah, I think they're small, definitely attainable, but that'd be my struggle. Yeah, I need to be an adult. So
yeah. I just had like a whole like flush in my memory too, because I was writing down my goals at the beginning of the year, and I was like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, but like how do you hold yourself accountable? Because you also said you like to hold your friends accountable. Like how do you do that with yourself? Because that's one thing I struggle with, and then I just be like, oh my gosh, like I'm a mess, this, that, and the third. But it's like I'm responsible for myself.
Yeah. Well, I have people who hold me accountable, right? Okay. For if I'm going to church, or if did I go to the gym, or have I eaten today, or because I struggle with that. I never know what I want to eat.
Neither do I. Oh my gosh.
But how I don't know. So again, yeah, in the beginning of the year, I wrote my goals down, but I wrote them, and I don't know if it was Tiff who told me, but I wrote them down as if I already completed it.
Okay.
Like as if that goal already was like I already chased that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to read what my March one was and my April, because I feel like I did do that.
Okay.
Which I'm very proud of, because March was definitely like a fulfilling month for me, just spiritually and emotionally, that I'm still on the journey of.
Mm-hmm.
I just had like a self-realization this past Wednesday driving up from Baltimore, and I was just crying in my car because I'm just like, it doesn't help that I listen to sad girl music. But
of course not, but
that's my favorite type of music.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, damn, like I thought I was over it and I'm not. Like I need to really like take a step back. So, and I always like to ask like people how I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
or if I reacted to something wrong, or should I have done better. I like hearing what other people have to say, even like with my brand. Like I have one of my close friends, Myasia, who owns Muse brand. She's my biggest inspo because I be knowing what be going on, and she's just always pushing through. Like she be in her head rent free too. So it's like you've done so much, literally pat yourself in the back. Like don't feel like you have to. But I always ask her, and I asked Tiff, I'm like, should I really drop this? Like, it's not too late. I don't have to keep going. But she was like, no, do it. Like, so what? Like, and like so even asking advice from that, it's like, okay, like just fuck it, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I try to make sure that I'm my best self every time, and even seeing the growth that I've had in these short span, like 3 months, 4 months, I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm always evolving, I'm always changing. So that's how. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was real too. You're such a honest, just
no,
raw.
I really am. I can't lie.
No, but
I
what
really
for?
can't.
Like, you know
Exactly
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Why am I lying? Because that doesn't serve me anything.
Yeah.
And people don't get to see how these girls really maneuver. They feel like they always have to keep up this image, which I get. Like, you don't want the whole world to see how you are and how you act and how you feel. But somebody I had seen the TikTok, and she was like, oh, Mariah the Scientist writes her music as if it's a diary. And really being raw with your emotions. And I feel like if I was an artist, I'd do the same thing. Because it's like some girls be putting this, tough act and get money, fuck, just all this stuff. And cool, yeah, you can have that. But where is the I'm sad? Where is the, raw emotion? Where is the damn, I don't think I can make it today? Just that, because I think we lack that as women. I feel like we're always just beating on the next girl with this mentality of oh, I took your nigga, ha ha ha.
Yeah, this I'm trying to be perfect image.
Or I have this bag and you don't have. Okay. Did you speak to God today?
Ooh.
What are you talking about?
Yep.
Honestly though,
did you pray?
Did you pray?
Yeah.
Did you talking about how you styling the next person and you got all this? Okay, but
people are so, like I said, they need that validation. They need to show out. They need all these things. I'm so for people sharing their success and people being vocal about being proud of what they do and everything. But there is a thin line where people sometimes kind of bring others down in the midst of sharing your success. I'm not going to name drop or anything, but there's this one thing I saw.
Name drop.
Oh, God, I can't.
No, I'm kidding.
Name drop.
Let me not be messy.
It just, I saw this one thing and it was damn, I can't even. But I just seen this one thing about this one influencer. Tell me after the camera.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you after. Actually, I don't think I can. I'm gonna tell you regardless. But okay, it's like these two people are united and they just think like, to me, it just bothers me because
I feel like I know.
It just bothers
you say that and I feel like it's
it just
Okay.
throws me in a loop where I'm
Okay.
just like, let's just all be humble. Let's just all remember that like we're all creatives, we're all trying, but there's just this energy that these people put out that is kind of like, we're the best and like we'll walk past you. Like it's just crazy, and I'm just like,
I've encountered a few females like that.
I can't.
Or like hearing stories about them, and it's like, and then you see them now, and one, they look botched in person.
ooh,
Two, their situation ain't shit, but people like, I don't know, people really, there's some people who really like that, like just they applaud shit like that.
Yes.
So I don't know.
I think if you have also a certain amount of numbers, people are gonna applaud you regardless.
Yeah, but like my Instagram is dropping by the second, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. Like I was literally at I don't know 1 something, and then now I'm like at 92. Okay, like I don't care for the number or that it's dropping. Y'all still know my name.
Ooh,
Clock it.
yup.
Like
The
you're
serious face at all.
like, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care. I really don't.
I love
Even
this.
if I'm down to 50, as long as my business is up, I don't
Yeah.
care. Like I'm so content. But
nah, they're
some
gonna
people
love you
really-
after this. What? What? I didn't even know.
some
Yup.
people really care about that shit, and I know people who like got their followers just like crying for help or like putting this whole like fake story on the internet, and you see them now and they're
No, we rebuke all that.
yeah, no.
Everybody who's not valid, you can stay over there. You're
No,
not
for real.
valid here. Wow, this I did not expect this turn of events.
Listen, once you get me talking, I could talk.
Yes.
So,
No, wow. Okay.
yeah.
I like it though. We need to hear more from you because like you have a lot to say, and what you're saying is what so many people are scared to say in the position that you are.
Yeah. It's so funny because I was on live last year in the summertime, and they just kept asking me like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, I had mentioned something about like work or something, and they were like, "You work?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have a regular job.
I have a job.
I have a job." And they were like, "Oh my God, that's so crazy." Or me saying shit like, "Oh, I didn't know that you were like this." And I'm like, "Well, what's that? Like
A human being?
Why-
I'm sorry.
why do we like put this like misconceived notion onto people that like
The stereotype.
the stereotype. It just, I don't know, like a pretty girl could also have like a brain or just human decency or awareness or I don't know. But it was also refreshing to hear that people can see that
Yeah.
because I get it, you know. We do put this this false narrative on people. But
Everybody's judged. Everybody
Ev-
judges
yeah.
a book by its cover.
But I was like, no, I can set the shit straight right here. Like, I'm a regular girl. Even the job that I had started 2 years ago, this girl was there and she was like, oh, let me follow you on Instagram. And I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, like, I look like a normal person outside of work or even at work. So she followed me on Instagram. She was like, wait, I already follow you. And I'm like, oh. She was like,
Did you not know?
She was like, oh my God, what are you doing here? And I'm like,
Working.
I'm working. Like, I need a job just like you need a job. Like,
Right.
I'm, you know, we're all struggling adults.
I got bills.
Exactly.
I don't know. Mm-hmm.
So it was just funny that she said that because she thought I lived in a whole different state.
Mm-hmm.
That I was probably somebody's girlfriend. And I'm just like, no, I'm Maryann. Just working.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah. I love that for you though, because you're like, I love when people have like a certain like image or a certain narrative already built in their head about me. And then I'm just like, wow, you're
was
so wrong.
Yeah, so
like,
wrong.
Let me show you how wrong you are.
Yeah.
And that's refreshing because, like, you're beating the odds, which is good. And I think you being so real, so raw, so authentic, like, this is what's going to take you further than, like, anything else. Like, you're a true personality. And like you said earlier, like, the people in your circle, like, really, really know you and, like, really get to experience you. And I think they're so lucky, of course. But one thing I would say for, like, social presence is, like, be yourself, because I like this.
Yeah.
I love this.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, they didn't even know. I didn't even.
It's so funny because even with that event we went to for, like, Mo Lola, Essex, I'm telling Tiff, I'm like, I gotta go. I feel like I'm getting anxiety.
But when we left, you were still outside.
Yeah, because I was waiting for someone.
Oh, okay.
So I was waiting to head back into Jersey so that, because I was closer to where we were going than she was. So I'm like, let me just sit here for a second. But I couldn't be in there. Like, it was just like,
that was like
that was
a party.
Some other shit. Like,
Yeah,
what? Are you okay? Like,
you literally copped the shirt and dipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you did.
And I haven't even worn it. Yeah. Funny. But, yeah, it's just something about being in, like, a room like that, just, like, it's so, not odd, because I do want to be in more rooms like that, but it was just so much pressure in a sense where, like, y'all all do the same thing. Y'all talking about this, like, I don't care. Like, can we, like, have, like, a deeper conversation? I don't know. So, I'm trying. I'm learning.
Yeah. But I also think people still do bring, like, that social media facade in social rooms.
Yes.
Still. And that's why it's so hard to have meaningful and deep conversations. Me and Tiff, she was on the pod. And that was, like, baseline. Now Tiff knows when I go to the bathroom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was, like, baseline. And then, like, we just one day clicked. We was going through some similar real life, like, shit. And then I was like, wait, like, even me sometimes, I forget that other people are human beings. Just because, like, I'm always looking at people online. I'd be forgetting, like, not forgetting on purpose, but I'd be forgetting, like, wait, you're a human being.
Yeah.
You know? So when we connected, I was like, oh, we're going through the same thing? I would have never thought. So it's like those conversations people don't have in person. When people really ask you, how are you? They don't really want to know, like, how are you? Like, they'd be like, how are you? Be like, oh, I'm good. Just to ask you.
Yeah. To get that
like,
out of the way.
Because I know if I'd be like, oh, well, you know, I'm struggling with that.
Right.
They're going to be like,
are you
oh,
really going to listen? Exactly.
Yeah, they're not. So I do think that people do bring that, like, social media facade to in-person social events. And I hope that, like, we're able to change that. And I think even with you and your brand, when you start doing events or whatever you plan to do, like, I hope that everyone who goes there brings that, like, real, raw, authentic energy to that space. Because we already know you finna clock everybody.
And if I feel off, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Energy is so big. I don't know if it's... And I try not to bring, like, astrology into, you know, faith stuff because they don't really... Whatever. But I'm like... I feel like I'm a true Pisces. Like, if I feel energy is off, get out of my face. Yeah. Because I don't know. I can't be real with you. I can't have a deep conversation. I can't really sit here and, you know, tell you shit if you really are not... I don't know. It's just off.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think it's also important to keep your closest people around you that you can trust, that you can be yourself with, and that you don't have to, like, be anybody else, and be true and authentic. I think in this industry, we're constantly meeting people, constantly networking, and it just may not feel like genuine, no matter who they are, top producer, top anything, like, in those scenarios, right? But you're not feeling the vibe. But you know that, like, this person can elevate your brand or can invest or something. Like, do you put that aside and still connect with them? Or do you, like, I'm good?
I just recently, like, started reaching out to said people and, like, hey, I would love for you to, you know, wear this or whatever the case is. You know, because people trusted me before.
Of course.
In doing that. So I see the power that social media has. Now, does it really have power? No. Because Well, for me, I can only speak from my experience. I've given, certain things to people thinking that it's gonna bring back numbers, and it really doesn't. Like, so I try to like pick and choose like who, or maybe it's just my choosing that it's like people really aren't buying off this person. Like, she might make it look really really good, but
Yeah.
it's not bringing what it
Not
needs
everything
to.
is conversion.
But I also don't like, I don't hit people with the, oh, like, I would love to send you this so you can like post it. Like, I want you to genuinely do that because you fuck with me. Like, I don't want it to be like, oh, this girl, and because sometimes you're not paying these people, you're just doing it based off like showing love because it's reciprocated, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially if I hit you up and I'm like, hey, like, can you wear this for me? But like a couple months ago, you told me to wear something of yours. I'm doing that off the strength of my back because if you really want something to be well executed and something really nice for you to post, I'm going to do that because you deserve that. You deserve your brand to be top notch. Now, am I looking for that same in return? A little bit, but it's not mandatory. I'm not going to look at you any differently.
Okay.
Because we all have our own whatever, but I don't know. I'm on and off with that because I'm wasting product in a sense.
And that's
like,
wasting money.
And that's not money in my pockets. You're just getting, something
That makes
in
sense.
return. But I try not to look so much at it like that because even like a friend of mine reached out and was like, oh, I would love for this person to have your jacket, who's a big person. But I was just like, I really don't got much left for me to just give out. And especially if she really not going to bring back numbers, like, when am I really giving it to her for? Like,
And it's like, is it guaranteed? So you never know.
So, I don't know. I pick and choose.
Okay, that's good. Because I think, like, a lot of people do feel forced. Like, oh, I have to get it on this person. I have to send it out. Like, it's about making those difficult decisions that are either going to benefit you and feel right for you, or it's just not an opportunity at the moment, which I love.
I think what my main focus is right now is my t-shirts, the God Style, like, boxy tee, is men targeted as well. Like, I want to do more of that and start incorporating, like, men clothing pieces into my brands. The Raya jacket was also going to be for men. I had made a sample for men, but I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't the right time. So that's when I did the t-shirts being at unisex, which I need to, like, market better so that they know that this is also for you guys. But
Wow. I didn't even know you talked this much. Like, I swear, you're so phenomenal. I love talking to you. I'm really excited to see, like, what's next with the brand. I'm already, like, a big lover, as you know, but I'm really excited to see, like, what's next with the brand. We got the tea here a little bit, so now we're gonna really be in tune. We won't probably see all these personal things, but
I'm hoping for that to change. But
like, we'll still be on the lookout just in case. We already know we can keep up with your fits, with your inspos. Like, we already know we could do that. So I'm sure y'all know y'all can tune in with that. But it was such, like, refreshing talking to you. I think this is the first time in a long time where I had a conversation with another creative and someone who's passionate about what they do, but is, like, honest and real, even on camera. Like, people might come on here and I'm talking to them and they might just be, like, trying to think about the best thing to say or, like, the best quote for a clip, and, like, you just spoke like you're like I didn't, you know what I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, which is, like, something that I appreciate a lot because I took a lot from this conversation. Like, yes, of course, this is for everybody watching and, like, those young girls that want inspiration and that want to do this as well, of course, young boys as well, but, like, for me, like, I took so much from this and it made me feel more like human. Like, I'm okay.
You're doing great, sweetheart.
You're doing great, sweetie.
You are. This is huge, even to have a podcast. Like,
oh, thank you.
That's it. you have a lot more courage than say a lot, other people, because not a lot of people are comfortable speaking in front of a camera and keeping up this certain energy that you have to. You never know who you're gonna invite.
Yeah.
You think that you're speaking to this person online, and you're like, oh, so and so, but when they get here, how do you,
and sometimes these are people I meet for the first time,
right.
Like, so it really is a hit or miss. But me, I'm same on energy, and if I really don't like an episode or really don't like, I'm not gonna put it out there. I wouldn't do that to myself, and I wouldn't do that to anybody watching. So I took from that what you said. Like, I always felt this pressure, like, oh, if I shoot this, I invested so much time and money and da-da-da. But now I'm thinking of it like, if I really don't like the vibe, I don't have to put it out. So I took that. As you were speaking, I was literally taking my internal notes. So thank you, because I needed this talk more than you know.
Well, I did too, maybe. I feel like, I don't know.
Like you got a lot out.
I definitely did. I feel like there's a lot more. But it's just nice having, like, genuine conversation with someone, because not a lot of people, people do want to know, but not a lot of people are deserving to know.
Yeah.
And just, you're able to make this, like, a safe space for me to just speak on.
And it's small. As you see, there's barely anybody, nobody here.
But it's cute, and it's cozy, and it's comfortable. And
Thank you.
I think that's the most important.
Yeah.
For anyone to feel comfortable in speaking on just themselves or their brand or just any topic, period. So
I love that. And I think that's one thing I always want to keep, like, keeping it intimate. Like, obviously I want this to be, like, bigger than complex, whatever, like, but
in God's name.
Yes, amen. But I do want, like, to always keep this, like, familiarity, like, it being intimate and cozy and safe. And I don't want it to ever feel like a script or, like, a production or, like, anything like that. So thank you for saying that. But we're kind of coming up on time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, maybe in the next episode.
Yeah, part 2, you never know. But maybe when you come back, like, you're going to be in a whole different space, which is, like, what I love about this. Like, you'll always have this video to look back and be like, wow, like, where I was then is not where I was now. Just like you said earlier, you don't want to be who you was or where you was 5 months ago. So I hope that this is continuing to progress. It was so, like, literally so refreshing talking to you. Same. I loved it. Thank you so much for having me. Oh, yes. So before we wrap up, I do want an outfit breakdown, because you're just that girl. So let's go break it down for them.
Okay. And a lot of people be saying I gatekeep. I don't gatekeep. I just shop. I genuinely shop. So if you don't shop and you just want the quick fix, I'm not the girl for you. Because I really be, but if you do need, like, where'd you get this from? I will say. Just saying. But
y'all gonna get the tea today, so.
No, for real. Okay, so boots are Margiela. Skirt is a vintage fit. My tank, got style, all over print tank. This camo shirt that I got thrifted. Oh, I think thrifted? Oh, yeah. Because I be buying a lot of stuff on Depop. Sierra, and Route. My rings are, like, all over the place. I don't know where this is from, but Chrome, Cartier, Amazon, BP, my essentials. And yeah.
The glasses?
Oh, my glasses are Gentle Monster.
Okay, we love that. Y'all got the breakdown of the fit here, y'all. You look fantastic. I love the fit. Love everything that you do. I'm a big supporter. I'm going to continue to support. Where can they find you to support you? If anybody watching that isn't familiar with you, yes, where can they go?
So you can always see my next post. You'll probably see this outfit on my page. Styleby.ms. My brand page is MS.by.ms. And where to shop, like, if you do like this tank, is byms.shop.
We love that. Yay. Yeah. All right, you guys. That was another episode of Talks with Kat. We got real raw today. I'm at loss for words, quite literally. But it was so much fun talking to you again. And I will catch y'all in the next one.
Bye, guys.